The message that I have for this reading is that not everyone buried in chaos is a victim. Some are architects of their own destruction, pain performers who rehearse their suffering like monologues, pulling in fresh audiences to relive the drama. At first, you mistake them for wounded souls. You offer compassion, space, even energy. But slowly, you start to drown in the very storm they summoned. The true misfortune humbles. It doesn't demand attention. It prays for grace. But energetic parasites feed off empathy. They mimic pain to recruit hosts. Their stories never evolve. Their enemies always change. They're not unlucky. They're looping. And your soul is not a rehab center for karmic debris. And you're allowed to reserve your healing for those who actually want to rise. You need to protect your frequency. Build with builders. Stand beside the quiet powerhouses who create more than they destroy. The law is simple. If it drains you, it's not your destiny. What do we have at the foundation of the reading? Devil, Capricorn energy at the foundation of the reading. So I've been picking up these messages inside the collective the past few days regarding people who are trying to weasel their way into your energy as if they need some sort of healing from you. Now, this can certainly be family, friends, exes, but it can also be people who come to you for services, right? Just really depends on what you do. And the whole purpose is to get close enough to you where they can begin to disempower you and drain your energy. So this can show up as them praising you for something you do very good, right? And you allow them into your space because it feels like it wouldn't be any harm to you. And then once they get close to you, they start saying things to you so you actually question the moves you're making. So you question the position you're in. Are you sure you want to do that? Are you sure you're really that good at that? Right? This sort of energy. And this is a last-ditch effort by the devil and his minions, tentacles of the devil, rather, to stop you by any means necessary before you step into some sort of new beginning that you're preparing to have. Now, the devil from this deck at the foundation of the reading is interesting because we're looking at it like we're a fly on the wall. So it's like Spirit saying to you, hey, let me show you what's really going on. And we have the devil here, and it's like he's having this big concert in front of all his minions, right? As if to say, go out and get them by any means necessary. You must stop them. Get close to them. Let them think that you're on their side, that you're a safe space for them. Once you're in breathing distance from them, start the campaign of breaking them down incrementally. Now, this is obviously something that we hear about all the time in regards to what narcissists do, right? They build you up, and then once they got you, they start breaking you down. They destabilize you, right? And this really pairs perfectly with the message that I gave at the beginning of the reading, right? It's people who are acting like, again, they need your help, like there's some sort of misfortune that is unfolding in their life, but it's all staged. And I'm also hearing something about an ex for some of you who has used the same tactics that they used on you on so many people now that they're no longer able to get away with it. And I feel because of this, they may be circling back. But of course, you can also connect this to family members or friends. And for a lot of you, it's going to be all of the above. You know, there's been this tone inside the collective as well that people are just really starting to see a lot of you accomplishing things that maybe they never thought you would accomplish. Maybe these were things that you'd been talking about doing for years, maybe your entire life. And lo and behold, these people are no longer in your life anymore, and you're actually accomplishing these things, which is, of course, very telling. You know, when you remove somebody from your life and all of a sudden you start to get movement in other areas of your life, that's not a coincidence. That's a kind of language of the universe saying to you, hey, look, you're getting movement now. Maybe you should review some of the baggage, some of the energetic dragage, rather, that you had to release to get this movement. And what you will find is that there's people amongst that energetic baggage, or rather dragage. There's behavioral patterns, there's mindsets, there's a whole collection of things that were working together in an incremental fashion to stop you from being able to have this breakthrough. And all of those things if keeping you from your highest purpose and highest timeline fall under the umbrella of devil energy, okay? Devil energy, whether big or whether small, is just anything that is trying to keep you from your destiny, from the path that the divine had always intended for you to go down in this life cycle. Right on the bottom of the deck. Wow. 5 of Pentacles, 7 of Swords, High Priestess. This literally followed what I just said. It's like, here's the divine communicating with you, right? The High Priestess is all about divine guidance and your intuition, okay? And 7 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles. You know, I'm hearing that it's gotten to the point now that it's so clear to you, it's crystal clear, that if you can't actually see it and do something about it, then the responsibility is solely on you, right? Once illumination takes place, then you are the only one to blame if you don't take action based on that illumination, right? And I get it. You know, this is not easy, right? This is very difficult. The things that are the most difficult to give up or quit are the very things that lead you directly to your breakthrough. Person, place, thing, mindset, behavioral pattern, right? Like we've been saying. But what you also start to really recognize is that once you pinpoint one thing that's holding you back, you start to notice a whole bunch of other things. Before you know it, it's a kind of avalanche of karmic debris that has just been building up without you even really noticing it or understanding how to notice it. See, it's not like we just are born knowing what these things are. We have to go through a lot of life experience to get to the point where we can actually focus in on all of the things that are keeping us from our destined path. What do we have at the Sacral, please, Spirit? I'm feeling this up and down energy. Wow. 2 of Swords. And then the 8 of Swords flipped over here as well. Okay, we're going to take both. Look at this energy. Yeah, this up and down energy I'm feeling. Okay, I'm seeing a car in my mind's eye puttering down the street. And then all of a sudden, enough gas pushes through the fuel line and the car is able to drive normal again for, say, 10 feet. And then it starts puttering again because it's clearly running out of fuel. It's running out of gas. It's up and down. And this is really what I'm getting from, I feel, this opposing energy. And before the reading, okay, out of nowhere, I just started smelling whiskey. I feel that there's somebody in your energy that is drinking a lot right now. And right around the time of smelling that whiskey smell, there was this vision that came through of an individual holding these seeds in their hand. And I feel that there's somebody in your energy that has been trying to plant all their seeds in bad soil. And now they are starting to see that your soil is actually where they could get growth in their life. But this isn't happening because I feel you're meant to take this person back in any way, shape, or form. It's just a part of the karmic consequences of their actions, right? I'm also hearing something about this person needing to feel the way they made you feel. Now, this 2 of Swords in reverse at the Sacral is representing where this person or these people are finding themselves on their path. They've truly reached some sort of crossroads, but they're being faced with 2 directions that are exactly the same, which is telling me that they have reached a point in their life where all options, I heard, lead to hell. Okay, so it's really just another way of saying that there's no way out of this for them, okay? They have to go through the process of healing and learning from the decisions that they have made in their life. For a lot of these people, 8 of Swords at the solar plexus, this is going to find them struggling with their mental faculties, okay? These people thought that they were something that they were not with this 8 of Swords at the solar plexus. These people had no problem laughing at you when you were going through a difficult time, when you could have used a hand. None of these people were anywhere around. In fact, your suffering may have been exacerbated by these very people. And the divine allowed it because they needed to see how far they would actually take it. I'm hearing you always had a tether connected to you. The divine was never going to let you fall too far into the darkness. They knew exactly how much you could handle. But you were a kind of bait. Make no mistake of that. You baited these demons out into the light. I just heard that very clearly. But now, as we approach this new timeline, and as you approach this new beginning, everything's shifting, everything's turning around. I just heard it's your time now. And this is one of these moments when these individuals are going to be stuck in a constant loop, constant memory of you, playing on repeat, about how they treated you, about the person you're becoming. These people weren't able to see you for who you really were. You were very much cloaked. It's like Christ dressing up as a homeless individual and sitting on the street, right? He is a beggar, and just observes how people treat him, right? It's very much what I'm getting for all of you. There was something very unassuming about you. You were just hidden in plain sight. I'm also hearing that there was something about you that these people may have picked at, made fun of. It could have been something with your appearance, the way you dressed, maybe the way you spoke. Maybe you're a deep thinker and just the way that you articulate yourself is outside of what most regular old people can really even begin to comprehend. There's just something very different about you. And even though you were cloaked, there was that one thing there. And rather than encourage that side of you or help you bring that out and support you, they attacked it. They saw it as weird. They saw it as abnormal. They're so caught up in some sort of holographic reality is what I'm hearing, that the divine has placed around their life. They just fed directly into the trap that Source laid out for them. And you were the bait right in the middle. And then Source gathered them all up inside the trap. And as soon as they pulled you out, you were revealed. And I feel that this is the season we're in right now. We're in the season of your reveal. And you know, when it comes to karma, karma is like that old movie reel, right? That just plays over and over in your mind. It starts with guilt. Your guilt starts to eat you away. That's karma. It becomes this heavy burden that you must relieve yourself of by any means necessary, but it's heavy on your soul, on your spirit. There's nothing more painful than that. It's more painful than physical pain itself. It feels like your spirit is being twisted, tortured. It's an agonizing kind of pain, but on a whole different level. And that is exactly where they're at right now. Right as I lifted that card up, I just heard mother, sister, father, ex. Okay, I just heard friend. Okay, so there's a whole petri dish of people here. Just really depends what your situation is. What do we have at the heart, please, Spirit? Page of Pentacles. There you are in this new beginning. Perfect. You're in this energy of seeking. I feel that you always have been in this energy, but you were never finding, okay? Now you are entering the season where you are actually seeking and actually finding because you have released these energies, and they are going to bear witness to all of this. The Page of Pentacles is the literal first step of the manifestation journey. This is you setting the intention, and this is you receiving the seed. It's showing up as the pentacle. I just heard very clearly, I can't believe it actually worked. And I feel that this is just really speaking about you seeing some sort of movement. It's like manifesting something and it's a success, right? Something, you just get movement in a space where you've always expected things to just fail. You've always expected things to be stagnant. You know, choosing yourself is a spiritual act of defiance, okay? That's not arrogance. It's actual alignment, and it's not selfish. So don't allow people to tell you that. Because the truth is, if you don't choose yourself, someone else will choose for you, right? And make no mistake that that version of your life that they choose for you will always be smaller than the one your soul envisioned. It's time you start embodying your worth. And I feel that you're finally going to be reaching a point in your life where something inside of you has changed, where you simply do not care what anybody else has to say about what you're doing and the moves you're making. You know, some of you may say to yourself, well, I don't care what anybody thinks about what I'm doing. And sure, maybe you don't. But on a deep soul level, I feel that subconsciously even it affected you. But your perception now of life and the way you're interfacing with your reality is allowing you to see things from a different lens. And through this different lens, you are starting to recognize that any of these energies that made you feel that way were only doing so because you were a threat. You're no longer allowing yourself to be placed inside of a space that is influenced by what other people have in mind for you. And again, I just want to emphasize that there could be something subconscious going on there, okay? Could be much deeper than just the surface level of, I'm not doing what that person says I should do. It could be something that is so deeply embedded that you're only just now starting to realize. Now, an example of this would be growing up in an environment and you're told something, right? You're influenced that you can't do this, that, or the other, that you need to be this person or that person, right? Now, that creates karmic imprints. Those imprints embed themselves into your subconscious mind. And as you grow, as you develop, your development is being influenced by that karmic imprint. It's like a code, right? Or like a virus, a computer virus that you don't even know is there. But it does something to your self-worth. It does something to your confidence. This is something that can be seen as very dangerous for young children. You know, if young children don't grow up in a loving, supportive environment, then they could quite possibly face these same struggles that I'm picking up for a lot of you now. What do we have at the throat, please, Spirit? Temperance, Sag energy, perfect. Now, temperance is really speaking about some sort of healing that you are going through right now, energetically, spiritually, mentally. I just heard vibrationally as well. Yeah, there's like a cleansing taking place. I'm picking it up in quite a lot of your auric fields right now. There's something going on. Now, the Temperance card is at this throat position, communication, the way you speak to yourself, the way you think about yourself, the relationship you keep with yourself, which correlates to what I just said regarding a false sense of self, which is based on this karmic imprint. Okay, now I'm starting to hear something in regards to the karmic imprints and how they actually attract more of that damage towards you, right? As you begin to heal, right? As you begin to get to the source of some of these things, what you find is a lot of the people that you entertain in your life, you can't even stomach being around these people anymore because you pick up on it. You pick up on that wounding in these people, and you realize you're magnetizing these people into your life because it's the universe's way of telling you, hey, you've got this thing inside of you that needs healing. We're going to keep bringing more of these people into your life until you sort of wake up to this, okay? And this is something that we all go through. It's just a part of the spiritual awakening process. And the way you know that you're really making a lot of headway is when people begin to just distance themselves from you, right? Because they're starting to feel rejected by your energy because you're healing that space that they were able to once fill. It's like the damage creates a kind of fissure or a crack in your auric field. Or a dent. I call this a spiritual dent. And these people come into your life and they're like, oh, I can just wiggle right into that crack or into that little space right there. Seems kind of comfortable. Feels familiar. And then you spend the next few decades of your life like that. This isn't something that you pinpoint overnight. Most of us live a good chunk of our life until we even realize what in the world this is. There's many layers to this. It's very complex. But there is a way to navigate this all and keep it on the surface, right? So you can kind of compartmentalize what's going on here. But also really try and simplify some of what I'm saying here. These karmic imprints are unearthing themselves, okay? And Spirit is helping you work through these energies right now, through all of these different things that may have been holding you back from being able to go down this particular path that you're going down. And I feel for a lot of you, I'm sorry to say, but it's directly connected to people in your life. It almost always is. Okay? Whether they're in your life now or not, at some point in time, this originated with somebody, something. Whether they were even consciously aware that they were placing these burdens on you or not is circumstantial, but it doesn't matter. You know, a lot of us have dealt with people that are unhealed and then lay their burdens on us. This is called generational karma. But like we always speak about in my readings is I read for a collective of individuals who are here to break that. It will not persist any further. not if you have something to do about it. You need to understand that ascension, right? Awakening isn't just about love and light, all right? It's about facing resistance that proves you finally stepped into your power. What do we have at the third eye, please, Spirit? Okay. We're taking... Okay, we're taking both of these. Wow, unbelievable. Wow, heavy. Okay, so Page of Pentacles to the Ace of Pentacles, that's the full gamut, okay? That's like saying from 1 to 100, followed by the Magician, which is the card of the Master Manifester. You have all of the elements at your disposal: air, earth, fire, water. There's an energy here where you can see very clearly there's your path, right? Here's the divine saying to you, hey, just come down here, right? The scarab beetle, which is representing your rebirth. And then the pentacle. It's like this appears. This is the door that opens, metaphorically speaking, once you release yourself from these energies, or however they show up in your life. Setting the intention, cleansing and healing your energy, aligning with your purpose, and then pulling it all in to your literal reality. I'm hearing something about a lot of you were sent here to recalibrate what's broken. For a lot of you, this is why your life has felt heavy, difficult from the very beginning. Some of you think that you were cursed, but you weren't. You were just planted in a kind of hard soil because you needed to break the generational stone. Even now, in this very moment, by pressing forward on this path, you're healing the generational line. Backward and forward, seen and unseen, you're here to anchor the light. These people chose to feed the machine. There is no in-between. Anchor the light or feed the machine. There is no in-between. I'm hearing something about when everybody else was selling out, however that shows up in your reality. You held on to what seemed like a dwindling hope that things could be better for you, just grasping at it. None of these individuals would be able to walk a mile in your shoes, not even close to it. A lot of these people can't even comprehend what you may have gone through on your path. Some of these people are so jealous because you're favored at the moment. And it's so weird because I'm hearing somebody saying, why is God giving everything to them, right? Which is just an absurd thing to say because they're answering their own question by even asking it. God is blessing them because they're pure, because they're of the light, because they're not trying to harm other individuals. They're trying to genuinely help. But still, these people are just so caught up in their own egos that they just can't see the error in their ways. God doesn't need to give a reason. He's God. He sees all. He knows all. So for God to be blessing you, there's obviously a really good reason. But still, they're not surrendering. You're at a point in your life where the universe is rearranging your reality to meet what you're reflecting out, right? What you've always reflected out. But it's finally arrived. Again, you've stayed strong, you've stayed true, you've stayed pure. Now, all of this positive karma is making its way back to you. And see, when this positive karma hits, it's like a tsunami. It's like everything all at once. It seems like you just wait for blessings for, well, let me rephrase that. You're not waiting for any blessings. You're just getting on with life. And that's why this is happening this way, because you have faith in God's timing. But when this circles back around and starts heading your way, you can practically snap your fingers and bridge yourself from your old reality to your new. You wake up one day and just everything has changed. That's what this sort of energy feels like. What do we have at the foundation, Spirit? I'm hearing something about, well, I just heard when your spirit begins to awaken, the system notices. Wow. Unbelievable. Lucifer, right underneath the devil at the foundation of the reading. Right? The system, the devil, Lucifer, notice. Right? They feel it. They feel you breaking away. It's like the moment your frequency shifts, the matrix recalibrates. The illusion that you once called your life sends its agents, its minions, these people, these family members, these friends, these exes. They're all tentacles of this system. They also come through as patterns, right? The mindsets, the behavioral patterns. It's a kind of systematic chaos, but you'll always notice it. It's like some sort of sudden conflict comes in. People turning cold. Your family all of a sudden feels completely unfamiliar to you. Strangers who carry that same draining energy, but in a different mask. It feels like paranoia, but it's not. It's the spiritual mechanics of awakening. See, the system feeds off unconscious energy. When you unplug and when you stop feeding it, distraction, self-abandonment, it panics. It sends these emotional vampires, the narcissists, the energetic leeches, the people disguised as soulmates or people that are just concerned about you, right? Posing as loved ones. They don't want you breaking these generational curses. They don't want you breaking free of these chains. Here you are unraveling God knows how many years, decades, hundreds of years for some of you, worth of generational karma. Just this ancient, dusty, thick, broken, demonic source code of the system. You've now become a threat. Before all of this, you were just blending in, and all of a sudden you've been brought online. So these people, they come back around and they try to snuff you out, right? Why? Why not just help you? Because they can't. They have to go through the karmic consequences of their actions, and they know that. And for a lot of these people, it's a life sentence. See, your freedom, it illuminates their chains. You need to guard your energetic field, cut the cords with these people. You need to move like energy is your currency, because it is. You won't be drained anymore. You're here to ascend. And yes, it will feel lonely at first, but soon your soul tribe will begin to appear. Those who chose freedom because they too recognize the matrix. What do we have at the sacral? Nine of Swords, Gemini energy at the sacral. Here it comes. It says right here, causes great battles and wars, causes wounds to putrefy. See, when you go through this process and you begin to see what you didn't see before, what you're seeing is a kind of trauma, but it's spiritual. It's like a wound that you never knew was there, but it's on your auric field. So these people need to do whatever they can to mainline you back to that illusion, to that lie, and put you back in the very chains that you're breaking free of. It says right there, causes wounds to putrefy, right? Just a perpetual wound. What do we have at the solar plexus? God, again. Two death cards and the devil. Lilith, Lucifer, the devil. This is like a whole army of the underworld's high commanders coming for all of you, but through these other people, right? By any means necessary. Goes along exactly with what I was saying here, right? It's like a big gathering. The entire underworld. But Lilith, this is really speaking about the demon of lust being sent out into the collective. I just heard gluttony as well, okay? Now, obviously, lust is going to show up as temptation, exes, things like this. People just trying to ensnare you or re-engage you in karmic cycles that you've already moved on from. And see, the whole purpose of this is to lower your vibration, okay? It's crucial right now that you're very careful with who you're entertaining, if anybody at all, okay? Because you're in this time in your life where you're preparing yourself, the divine's preparing you for this big breakthrough, for this next chapter. And this is when you need to be on alert. See who's popping up, see who wants to be in your energy, and why. Why all of a sudden the focus on you and needing to see you now? This Lilith energy here cannot be defeated, okay? None of these energies can. You're not even meant to try and defeat them. You're supposed to get away from them. The whole purpose of this energy is to stop you from making any more progress forward on your path. Okay, I'm hearing that for a lot of you, this is an ex. And this person drinks a lot. I feel like that's who has that whiskey smell. It's like they have alcohol in their breath. It's like the devil is trying to use them to access you. I'm also hearing something here about this individual being really far gone. There's something about their energy. It just feels really dirty, to be honest with you. Spiritually, though, which is the worst kind. It's like they have a filthy spirit. This person here, this could also be somebody here who's very messy. They keep a very dirty home, right? I'm not talking about their appearance or anything. In fact, I feel like they're very put together. This person's probably attractive, right? But it's like their home is just a complete pigsty. I'm hearing their car as well. I'm seeing all sorts of visuals in my mind's eye. It's like one of these people, you get in their car and there's so much garbage on the floorboards of the car that you have to sit with your feet up on the seat. This kind of messy. See, these devilish energies, that's the environment that they thrive in. They love it. I'm also hearing that this person might be one of these people who says, I can't think when everything is clean and orderly. I need a complete mess around me. But I'm not talking like, an office and there's writings and stuff everywhere, creative things. I'm talking straight up garbage everywhere. Yeah, I'm seeing all these fast food bags in my mind's eye. It's like this person just eats complete junk food. Okay, let's move on from this energy. But that's what this energy is, okay? They're basically everything that is bad for you. What do we have at the heart, please? Unbelievable. Everything that is bad for you is exactly right. Okay, so we have the Ten of Cups red in its negative polarity here. Now, the Ten of Cups as an upright energy is one of the most positive, high vibrational cards in the tarot, but the Ten of Cups from this deck is like Ten of Cups in reverse. And it's speaking about this person, this relationship is very toxic. There was a lot of fighting, there was a lot of stress surrounding this connection. And Spirit is saying that there's still parts of this person that you're not even aware of. That these are things that if you were able to be a fly on the wall and see firsthand, this person wouldn't even be a thought in your mind anymore. This person wore a mask that was comprised of elements of what they thought you would like and want. It says right there, war and strife, okay? Ooh, I just heard very clearly the devil was saving the best for last, right? It's like this person, these people, whoever this is for you, is the devil's best, right? This could be the person that caused the most pain in your life. The devil sending them back in, right? And when this happens, okay, make no mistake that right there is the devil's secret weapon. And once you get through that, you're in the clear. Oh, unbelievable. Look at that. King of Pentacles, obedience. Page of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. Okay, so we're seeing these indications here of this manifestation all being directly connected to this energy that's trying to come through, okay? You go from the Page of Pentacles to the King of Pentacles to the Ace of Pentacles. See, the Ace of Pentacles is your blessing from Spirit, right? The King of Pentacles is essentially amongst the final steps of this manifestation before the Ace of Pentacles comes through. There is a lot of abundance, financial wealth, and prosperity on this table that is directly connected to this energy here, and it makes perfect sense that this is so extreme. Look what you're manifesting. And I'm thinking back to what I said in regards to the things that are the most difficult to give up or quit are the very things that actually lead you to your next breakthrough. What do we have at the throat, Spirit? Yeah, that King of Pentacles there, it says obedience, right? So King of Pentacles is a very disciplined energy, which goes without saying, given the fact that we've already been speaking on this. right? Willpower, discipline, obedience to the task at hand. Do not falter. Do not break path for the temptation. What do we have at the throat, Spirit? Wow. 9 of Wands, Sag energy, universal medicine, elevation of the soul, and the revelation of mysteries. Now, whenever I get this 9 of Wands, it looks to me almost like an air traffic controller, right? It's like they're clearing the runway for takeoff. They're signaling you, right? And the 9 of Wands, this is an energy that speaks about keeping boundaries with these energies, protecting yourself, not allowing them into your energetic environment. 9 of Wands is also an energy of resilience and just pushing forward despite any of these setbacks, right? Do not falter, like I just said. Literally followed the exact energy that we were picking up on. We saw the energy, now we're showing you what to do about the energy. Don't even entertain it. And I'm being drawn to the 2 cups on the Temperance card, right? It's like you're filling 2 cups. I'm hearing that there's going to be an individual that comes in. Okay, I just heard Soul Tribe again. It could be romantic, but this to me feels more like somebody who comes into your life to help you, a partnership. It's going to be different for all of you, but it's going to feel like you're feeling what seems like a void that this person left behind. Okay, I just heard your final test is turning this person away or just not even responding at all, okay? And then once you do this, you send out that energetic signature, right, like we were speaking about, and then the universe reflects back to you somebody who's actually in alignment with the person that you are now transforming into because you've now recognized your own worth. And because of this, the universe reflects that back to you in the face of another. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I can see a lot of you looking directly into somebody's eyes. And it doesn't have to be romantic. It's just feeling, you're going to feel seen. You're going to feel seen because you're going to be looking at eyes that almost feel like you're looking out of. That's so profound and so deep. I'm just going to leave that one there. I'm not even going to try and explain that any further. What do we have at the third eye, Spirit? Page of Swords at the third eye. So here they are now. I love this Page of Swords because Page of Swords can be about gossip, slander, right? But it's like here they are now. It's like they can't say anything anymore, right? Their words no longer land. And you're on this poster. And it's just speaking really metaphorically about where you're going and how they have to now watch, right? This goes back to what I mentioned in regards to them being stuck inside a loop, right? That karmic loop just repeating over and over like that broken film reel. It's like everything they said about you and the path that you were on, whatever it was, all comes back to haunt them. And a big part of this is having to see you in your power and purpose. All right, what do we have at the crown, please, Spirit, to close the reading out? Perfect. 6 of Swords, Aquarius energy at the crown to close out the reading. Annuel, perception of unity, protects against accidents, heals the sick. So I just heard your path is blessed and you are protected against any sort of accidents that these individuals are trying to, I just heard evil eye into your life, okay? Interesting way of putting it, but that's the way they wanted me to say it. And then the way it says heals the sick, okay? Now this speaks about that putrefying wound, right? The wound you can't see. It's on your auric field. You're being healed from this. A sickness that you never knew was there until you actually pinpointed these energies and removed yourself, which illuminated how sick they were truly keeping you, spiritually speaking. But as above, so below, that probably trickled into your everyday waking life by not being able to align with your true north and your path. Now, the 6 of Swords is also an energy of your rite of passage and moving forward. And I love this Six of Swords because it looks like he's giving a little middle finger to these energies right there. So this is a very powerful message, very deep, profound insights that I can only hope are going to help support you on your path right now. There's a lot to look forward to here, but it seems to me that there's one final test, like there always is, that you're going to be faced with before this next breakthrough. But if you remember this message and pay attention to the alarm bells when they go off, you'll be able to pass this with flying colors. All right, this is what I have for all of you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications. Information for personal readings can be found down below. And I would like to thank all of you for your continued support with the new store I've launched. You can find the links for that down below. And lastly, if this reading resonated with you, drop me a comment or a heart, and I'll talk to you all again soon. Take care.